All right, y'all, so it's been a while since I tried some new beats. As a matter of fact, the last set I actually had was a pair that I actually currently use, and that's the Power Beats Pro. So when I seen that Apple was dropping the translucent joints, come on, it was a must cop. Now these joints have been out for a minute, but I have been using them pretty much ever since the release. So it's time to get y'all my long-term review of these joints. So let's go ahead and get it. What's good, y'all? It's your man Wayne Train, and we are back with another joint. Beats Studio Plus. Let's go ahead and get it. Now, like most earbuds, you're gonna get your little small USB-C cable that comes in a box, as well as some interchangeable ear tips. And like I said, that translucent design really got to me, y'all. I really can't even front. It's kind of reminiscent of the old, the old original Nintendo Game Boys, the clear joints. I think Game Boy Advance had one as well. They pretty much been doing it for a while, but y'all, some of y'all old heads know what I'm talking about. Now, you really can never go wrong with any see-through look, if you ask me. So that's why these things were just an instant cop for myself. Now I want to jump right into the specs because there are a few things that are missing from these bad boys, like wireless charging and no on-ear detection. Seeing that these come in at around 170 bucks, I know for a fact that there are some earbuds that you can get in that price range with all of those features listed, as well as some more. And in some cases, even cheaper than 170 bucks and still get all those features. But, for me, overall quality, sound quality, fit, all that stuff, is what's gonna play a part in why these earbuds are so good in my opinion. So let's go ahead and get into the next thing, and that is the fit. Now, like I said before, even though these things are lacking in the features department, that does not take away from the experience of these. Now, it starts with the fit. Now, I do believe they intentionally designed these earbuds in such a way for users to take them in and out the case easily, as well as put them in your ear easily. Now, if you check them out, they kind of have these like grooves around the sides that allow you to be able to pinch them and take them out. Now, on the top side, it actually looks kind of like a volume knob or some sort of knob that you would find on anything to turn up and down. And that's exactly how you would insert these and put these in the case and put them in your ear. You kind of put them in, twist them back, and that kind of locks them into place. So for me, I really love that design. This is pretty dope to me. Now, I haven't had any issues with them falling out or even almost falling out for that matter. They actually fit me well. They actually fit me so well that I took these to the gym, and during my workouts, I really didn't have any issues at all of them falling out, even after the sweat and all that stuff. When it comes to fit, it's completely subjective, but for me, it's an absolute deal breaker. If the fit ain't right, it just ain't right. Another dope thing about these earbuds is that they're not just an Apple product. They actually work really well with Android. So you're gonna get Google Fast Pair when you're setting them up, as well as Find My in the event that you lose them. The only difference between the Apple and Android experience when it comes to Beats is that a lot of the features and stuff are baked into Apple software, so you don't have to download any third-party apps. As for Android, you do have to download a Beats app in order to edit any of the noise cancellation or any of the other little features that are on the earbuds themselves. I've heard people say that it actually sounds a little bit louder volume-wise on Android devices as they do on Apple, or compared to Apple, so take that for what it is. One more feature, a couple more features that you get on Android is multi-point as well as audio switching. Now, I mentioned the app, so we're gonna talk about that briefly. And when I say briefly, I mean briefly, because there's really not much to these earbuds. Now, when it's all set up, you're gonna see your Beats Studio Plus up at the top in the color actually that you got. So I got transparent, so you're gonna see transparent. Below those, you're gonna get your battery percentage for your case. Down below a little bit more, you got your transparency mode toggles on and off, noise cancellation as well. Down here a little bit more, you got to rename your buds, so you can rename your buds whatever you want. Product features, basically, they got tutorials online that'll show you how to use them. Now, the noise control and volume control is something that I actually use. It basically allows you to press and hold your right earbud for volume up and your left earbud for volume down. So I like that better than changing the volume through my phone or anything, or even like swipe gestures. So I'm actually really happy that they even have buttons on these things. Like, please bring buttons back. Not everything has to be touch capacitive, so kudos to Beats for keeping it old school when it comes to that. But so yeah, for me, I like the volume control. That's what I keep mine on. Now, continuing on, we got call control, so you can set the button presses for answering calls and ending calls. Got a couple microphone settings as well. Got under the hood down there, just gonna tell you what product you got. Then there's a little bit more personal information, product serial numbers and all that stuff. So that's pretty much it when it comes to the app. Now, if you noticed, going through that, there was no EQ. That's a real bummer for me when it comes to earbuds at this price range. I really think Beats definitely needs to adopt an EQ, especially for buds and products that they have studio in their name. It's just kind of, it would make plenty sense if they included an EQ for the studio buds. Don't you think? All right, y'all, so enough BSing around. Let's get to the sound. #bars. I know a lot of y'all might be, and I know a lot of you guys watch our videos, tech YouTubers and reviewers of alike, and specifically people that review audio products. We all kind of started doing the same thing a little bit. So at some point though, I'm going to fill out an application to become an audiophile. Will somebody please, like if anybody in the comments, anybody watching this video, a YouTuber, whatever, hit me up in the comments. Let me know what are the requirements to become an audiophile, because honestly, I am trying to expand my YouTube resume. You know, I'm trying to make this thing, you know, do a little something. So help your boy out when it comes to that, because I want to be an audiophile too. But for right now, coming from a regular dude, these joints sound amazing to me, a regular dude. Now for me, I listen to a lot of hip hop and R&B as well as podcasts. I also do dabble into old school R&B as well. And with all those genres, it sounds really good. Like I feel like it was just made for those genres, honestly. When talking about things like bass, it doesn't sound cheap, if you know what I mean. It's a real clean bass, like real punchy, just real nice and clean. Like I don't know how to describe it. Like that's just the best way. It's not overpowering, but it's very appropriate bass. Let's just say that. And I really have grown to appreciate that kind of bass over that dirty, rattling kind of bass. Now, I mentioned podcasts, so now the vocals from podcasts also sound really good, but I will say that this will really, really depend on the production quality of the podcast. Now, I don't really want to say that so much for music, because most music is produced, you know, in a high quality environment, studio, you know, quiet rooms, all that stuff. For the most part, that's where music is produced. When it comes to podcasts, people produce podcasts in the kitchen, in the bathroom, in the bedroom, like dogs in the background barking. Like people aren't usually in a secluded, soundproof room when it comes to podcasts. So if you have the Beat Studio Plus and you're listening to your favorite podcast to them and it's not sounding the greatest, it might be because your favorite podcast just isn't produced in a good environment and is produced badly. So I'm sorry, that's just kind of the way it is. Bringing it back to music, things like instrument separation is apparent here as well. I definitely had moments when I was listening to certain songs with these earbuds where there was like a little detailed sound or whatever in the background that I didn't notice before when listening on other earbuds. I'm not gonna name those earbuds. Probably, maybe even the Powerbeats, you know, they're not like super tuned earbuds or anything. So probably from something like that where, you know, it's not really meant for those type of environments. So it's not tuned to that level. Things like the Studio Plus will kind of bring out a little bit more life in the music. So it's not far-fetched to hear a song and be like, dang, that sounds just a little bit different than what I heard in the past. Like, that's the dope thing about having high quality earbuds and headphones. Now, in order to hear some of these things a little bit better, I like to listen to old school R&B, 70s R&B, 80s R&B, because a lot of the new music nowadays just ain't really using real instruments. So not that it's still high quality, you know, equipment, but I like live instrumentation when I'm trying to check out stuff like that. Another thing I like to mention too, as it pertains to sound quality, all the modes from noise cancellation being on, off, or in transparency mode, all those modes sound really good. Going back to transparency mode, on the other hand, your music does sound good through that, but for me, I think the transparency mode on them is decent at best. Like for me, when it comes to earbuds and transparency mode, it's kind of like counterintuitive, because you literally have an obstruction in your ear. It takes away from the experience, that's all I'm saying. It's not bad, transparency mode. It does the job well. It doesn't sound, robotic like a lot of people describe it. You still can hear everything really well. But for me, when I was listening to them with the Beat Studio Plus, I felt like I heard my voice too much. Like, I feel like the seal was just too strong or something. I don't know, I can't really describe it, but that kind of is the case when it comes to all the buds for me personally. When it comes to the noise cancellation side of things, I honestly think they sound really well for earbuds. Now, I think that over the ears still do better, but with there being an obstruction in your ear, it kind of works in your favor. Like, you want to seal out the sound, so you have a little bit of a leg up it almost because you have something already blocking the sound, and then, you know, all they have to do is, you know, put some software behind it and make that experience dope. So I think Apple did a really good job with noise cancellation and transparency mode for that matter. Just for me, when it comes to transparency mode, just doesn't always make sense when it comes to earbuds. Kind of rounding this all out, if you're like me and you like hip hop, you like R&B, you like podcasts, I can almost guarantee you that you will not have an issue with these. Now, everybody's opinion about music and sound quality is obviously subjective, but I think that's kind of where Beats kind of dropped the ball, not putting an EQ in the app. You know, for events like, you know, they're good earbuds, but it's like, for the people that want a certain sound, it's nice to have an EQ to where you can kind of tweak some of those things, take some things out. You know, I like to see that stuff nowadays. Back before, when I first started listening and doing reviews, I kind of liked a one-size-fits-all thing, but now I do appreciate having all that little bit of control to be able to tweak my sound how I like it. With that being said, Apple chose an amazing sound signature for these things, and honestly, I think it will appeal to most people, just not all people. But honestly, that's perfectly fine. Now, if you want a more detailed review of these joints, I highly suggest you guys go check out my man El Jefe Reviews. He's always reviewing the latest and greatest headphones and earbuds and other audio equipment, so definitely go check him out if you want a real deal breakdown to a T when it comes to audio. He got you, so go check him out. And with all that being said, that's the Beat Studio Plus long-term review from your man, Wayne Train. Please hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about these joints. Like, subscribe, share. It's your man. We out.